Do I have everybody's attention now? Rendering all completely irrelevant, I feel a little bit of recapping is in order.
So tomorrow, I'll debut the tri-monitor setup with dual 6950s unlocked at 6970. Crossfired. Be jealous. But today I'm going to be talking about the Demon Souls, the Dark Souls, the Souls, whatever the fanboy contention of that game calls themselves. Like I did with Killzone 3, how I destroyed that franchise for its incompetence. I will do the same for Demon Souls. I will be that one guy that talks up against this game because I'm not going to be like you guys and just conform to whatever the developers give us. First thing, realize that we're not in the 60s anymore. The civil rights movement is over. Martin Luther King has a day. The South lost. The North won. So for all the racial comments and slurs that I got, we got a black president. Deal with it. But on to communication. The developers didn't want to put in communication because it would make the game easier. It would make the game less challenging. Okay. So we have this game right here. Demon Souls, the Deluxe Edition. Probably what the hardcore gamer or the bigger fans of Demon Souls bought. The Deluxe Edition, the Collector's Edition, for the artwork, the CD, and oh, what's this? What's this? Ooh, an official strategy guide, which is 150 pages of guides from enemies to stats to where to find items, the stats of weapons. Wow. So you mean to tell me that they didn't want to include communication because it would make the game easier? So instead, they decided to put in a complete walkthrough? How does that make any sense? What is more helpful? An entire walkthrough of a 150-page walkthrough of a game, a strategy guide, or being able to talk to people? You tell me. Next thing going up. I love that Sunny D. People talk about it's not a multiplayer game, and yet when I look on this box, it says number of players, 1 online, online 1 to 4. Number of players 1, online 1 to 4. Online, broadband required. You can see it right there. So apparently it's not an online game, but yet 1 to 4 people can play it. I find that very interesting that a non-multiplayer game has an online multiplayer component. Who would have thought? I don't know. So, for the people that say that communication is bad and communication makes the game easier, doesn't having people help you play the game as Souls make the game easier? Why not remove that? Why not just make the game one hit instant kill deaths? Why not make it even harder, right? Why not remove the strategy guide? Why would you include a full in-depth strategy guide? That is a good strategy guide. I've read through it. It's better than most Prima guides. Why include that if you want to make the game more difficult? Why? Why would you give the gamer the ultimate tool to make that game super easy if you were trying to make the game harder? Doesn't make sense. Removing voice chat, and you know, not only does it detract from the game to me and the experience of playing with friends, but there could be a whole PvP aspect to this game. There could be arenas where players fight their character versus other characters, and we're not getting anything like that. I mean, you have one super build, he has one super build. How do you know who's better if you can't play? Imagine if you could fight your characters in this game, legitimately, head-on, not invading worlds, things like that. Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't you like to do that? Imagine if they had 3-on-3 battles, or 4-on-4, or whatever multiplayer battles. Teams of 3. Imagine the combinations and effectiveness that 3 characters of different classes and different abilities could do. You don't think a team-based battle system or a team-based arena PvP system would be good? About how communicating and setting up a strategy, tournaments, online fighting, things like that, you don't think that would be good? You don't think that would add replay value outside of the single-player experience? Probably not. When I envisioned Dark Souls, I envisioned getting together with a bunch of friends and creating the goddamn Ronin warriors in this game and just terrorizing people with all different kinds of weapons. Team attacks. Imagine one dude comes in with a giant hammer, hits the dude, breaks his guard. Another dude comes in with a staff or a spear, strikes him, stuns him. Another dude comes in with long range. It'd be fun. It would be fun to have 3-on-3 matches, 2-on-2 matches, duels in the game. But alas, things like that don't exist, and things like that would require communication, something you plebeians just don't like. You want to get all the things like, oh, this guy must be a Call of Duty casual. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't play Call of Duty. The last Call of Duty I was really into was Call of Duty 1 United Offensive. Oh, but this guy with every game system dating back to the regular Nintendo, all his games, man, he must be casual. Yeah, speaking of me being casual and not a hardcore gamer, which I really could care less about the labels of casual hardcore, all I know is that when it comes to gaming, I have an innate ability, a natural talent. I really laughed when Jeff Gertzman gave that review of Mega Man 9, complaining about its difficulty, and I completely and utterly destroyed that game, easily. When Demon's Souls came out and it said that the game was hard, I was looking for a challenge, and oh my god, that game was easy too. Who would have ever thought? I mean, it started out a little difficult because I couldn't beat the first main boss, which is pretty much impossible to beat unless you're really nasty, but after that, the game wasn't that hard, people. People complain about this game, it's like, oh my god, this game is so hardcore, it's so difficult, it's so... No! No! You want a hard game, go play Ninja Gaiden on the regular Nintendo. Go play some of the Castlevanias. Play those games. Then you come back and tell me how hardcore is. Back to the direction book. They give you a manual, a direction book to help you. And a lot of you guys said, well, you don't have to use it. They give it to you, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to. And yet, I can't get voice chat and tell you, okay, the game's got voice chat. If you don't want to use it, then, oh my god, you don't have to use it. But the option is there. Oh wow. Same logic applies. For anybody to tell me that voice chat communication is more useful than a 150-page guide, you're on crack. I mean, I always thought Square Enix fans were bad, Gran Turismo fans are bad, but oh my goodness. You Demon's Souls fanboys are the casual clowns of gaming. Oh, but we can't use voice chat. It wouldn't be fair. Imagine if 3 phantoms invaded your game and they could coordinate an attack against you. Oh, that wouldn't make the game harder now, would it? No. It would make the game easier. Because, God forbid, it was 3-on-1 and they got to communicate with each other and coordinate attacking. Oh, we wouldn't want that. That would make the game easier. It wouldn't make the game harder for one person to fight against 3 well-coordinated people. Oh no, it wouldn't. But we don't want to hear people cussing, carry on little kids in our Demon's Souls, our Dark Souls game. But yet, like I said before, it's not 1992. It's 2011, where you can mute people, you can block people, and if you really don't like using your mic, like I said, you don't have to use it. Unplug it, disconnect it. But rather, instead of having an option, you would just rather not have it, when it could add so much more to the experience of the game. But then again, this game is lacking features. To me, this game was a good game. I mean, the first one, Demon's Souls, but it's pretty bare bones, people. It was, well, a year-old game in Japan before it even came to America. No story, no depth. Let's be serious. RPGs have come a long way since then in games like Mass Effect 2 and The Witcher 2. Demon's Souls has a lot to live up to. Skyrim couldn't care less about. But the fact that you guys, you Dark Souls, Demon's Souls casual clowns, got so upset over one man's opinion, resorting to the most crazed insults and racism, well, you guys will make fun of the Call of Duty fanboys. Guess what? You're just as bad.